Welcome back to the channel, and today's video idea is to build a deadly asteroid that comes down from the sky to cause the extinction of the things that it hits directly. This is a random idea, but the concept is literally what I just said, but to give a little bit more detail about how it might look is we're gonna build a big sphere. Doesn't have to be the most spherical sphere. Asteroids are all kinds of shapes, mostly roundish though. And I'm going to light it on fire somehow, make it look like it's on fire. I want it to hover menacingly in the sky, and then we can look down as if it's like an eyeball almost, and select a target and then press a button, and the asteroid just shoots down towards the ground and massively explodes, in causing destruction to everything. That's the grand idea I have in my head. How easy is it going to be to do that in Trailmakers? I don't know. I think the hardest thing is going to be the shape, actually shaping it. I'm doing a lot of thinking right now, doing some hard thinks, and the main challenge is how to aim it. It's gonna be a ball, but I want the ball to be able to rotate, but it also has to float, so it needs to be able to stay stationary and rotate without it like getting all weird. And it also needs thrust in the direction that it's facing. I feel like I'm gonna need some type of like gyroscopic system. I think a wireframe test like prototype is in order. All right, you know what I'm gonna start off with? We got a seat here. Let's just let's just create like a central cube, because I need something to attach a bunch of gimbals to so that we can float up in the air. That should be enough. Woo! Look at us, we're an asteroid. I guess in the more technical sense of the term, this is a realistic asteroid. It's literally just being pulled to the surface by gravity. Let's see what happens when we hit. We blow up. Perfect. Video over. We did it. No, of course, this thing, I want this to feel epic. All right, so now we've got lift. Let's logic this lift so it keeps us where we want to be. All right, this should keep us in the air from going down. It would work better if I actually assigned the logic gate to all of the appropriate things. There we go. They're a little bit too powerful right now, but... why is that? Oh, okay. No, that's fine. This will all, you know, yeah. This will all make sense soon. Because right now the speed center doesn't have a consistent direction because we're rotating. But I can fix that real quick with a gyro stabilizer. All right, I think it works now. We can go down, we can go up, and we can hover. And this hovering will flatten out as we add more weight. Okay, so now this module that I just built should be our central core that maintains, it has to maintain its orientation in order for the speed sensor and stuff to make sense. We need rotation things like this. Oh, this is gonna be complicated. On the surface, it seems like a simple idea. Build ball, throw it at ground. But with the functionality I'm intending for this to have, this is actually a very complicated thing. All right, we're getting somewhere conceptually. So now I'm gonna add some steering gyros in the center. I think that should work. And then technically, this should allow us to angle up and down in any direction. Okay, I think this is actually coming together a little bit simpler than I thought it had to be. I thought I was gonna have to have 2 axes of rotating servos, but I don't think I need that. All right, so now if I add these, let's just put them on like 3 for now. All right, so we go up, we stabilize. Yeah, now steering that way is perfectly fine. Okay, cool. Okay, so I kind of have the prototype of the control system there for at least like aiming it, but there's a problem with how it works right now. So if I go up and I settle down, and let's say I aim down at the ground like that. Now imagine I put some thrusters on the back of this thing so that wherever I'm aiming, I'm gonna thrust towards. I have to overcome the gyros to thrust in that direction. So what is the method for that? And I think it's going to be, I need another kill switch, essentially, for the gimbals that coincide with my go button. And I think quantum rudders, an array of quantum rudders, some strong quantum rudders that stabilize us out. I think that'll be good. Gonna need another NOR logic gate. So this is nice. I can modify any, I can add as many NOR logic gates as I want that can add another kill switch, essentially. So I have one that is control, which it kills the auto hovering for when I want to go down. So control will go down. Now space will also serve the same function because it goes into the AND gate. So let me just make sure. So I press shift to go up and control to go down and space to go down. So now space will not only let me go down, but it's also going to activate thrust. And these quantum rudders are adding a real interesting effect, especially when I try to go up. That is kind of not what I was expecting, but it is interesting. Now, if I try to steer this thing. Okay, interesting. All right, so I'll probably use... Oh, this is... Whoa! All right, the quantum rudders are pretty cool. So, like, wherever I aim this, the I mean, they're doing what they do, but they're, like, trying to reorient our direction into where they're facing, which is kind of cool to see it happen without actual thrust. So, I want thrust, and I think the coolest thrust for an asteroid is going to be this thing. Or probably a handful of these things, to be honest. All right, so shift to go up. So now the idea is we aim down towards our target and we press space. This will allow us to direct ourselves in the direction. And yeah, this, we have full control essentially. Yeah, this is actually pretty nice. I think we're like 90% of the way there as far as our controls go. I think my gyros are at max right now. And man, those quantum rudders really do give a lot of resistance, don't they? Yeah, I'm gonna add a couple extra of these gyros. All right, you know, after I build the asteroid, I think I'm gonna have to find how many gyros it takes to neutralize the weight, because when I press space, you can see all the gyros turn off, but I only want enough gyros to turn off so that we are essentially weightless. That way, whatever direction I'm going, I'm only going to have velocity in that direction because gravity isn't going to be as having as much of an impact on me if I'm countering it with just enough gimbal jets. Okay, now I feel like we need to shape it. So I'm just going to delete all this stuff for now because we're just kind of that was our like wireframe prototype. Now we need to actually build the asteroid itself. So I think I'm going to go with this as our diameter. That might be too big. I'm gonna go one less. I don't want to accidentally like overcomplicate things and reach a complexity limit before we're able to actually use it. It took a little bit of figuring out the dimensions, but I think I got a good curve here. And I'm purposely leaving the inside of it uncurved or unflat or smoothed out because I need attachment points. So I should be able to copy this and just do boop, boop, boop. And then I need to do the same vertically. Boop, boop. Add some of this. So this is going to be a very round asteroid. This thing's been through the erosion in space to become very round. Actually, no, it's not going to. It's only going to be round at these axes. I'm going to do a terrible job at filling it in because it uses those like corner pieces that are very unintuitive for me to work with. All right, man, look at that sphere. Yeah. Spherical. Okay, so now the hard part. I gotta use these things. So how do I do that? I mean, that looks good, at least there. Let's just do that. Am I gonna have enough complexity to actually fill this out? I don't know about that. You know what? I should really just be focusing on a quadrant at a time. Let me see if I can just fill in this quadrant somehow. So there's that. And then if I do this 2 by 2, that one should technically fit right there. Doesn't have an attachment point though. So this goes that way and then that way. It should go right there. But see, now this doesn't fit. If I do that, what do I do? We got this one should go right there. Okay, so that part's kind of working. But see, that's too much, I feel like. I don't know how this works. All right, so I got like this going on. Now I gotta like close it somehow. Yeah, see, I went in too steep, but I don't think I have other options. I don't know how to do this. So this is why it's not gonna be perfectly round, okay? Literally don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know if it, I hope it's not just me, but these are the hardest pieces for me to use. This doesn't work. It's like almost there, but it's like, it doesn't fit the dimensions of these pieces. Cause see, if I put that one there, I can't put it right here. Unless it's just like, it's a cool look, it has some cool design or something. I don't know. I feel like having this kind of gap, I don't know. I feel like that could be aesthetically interesting. I could probably just put fire in these gaps, actually. That could potentially be cool. All right, I just might have to lean into the incompetence. Just pretend like it's art. All right, so there's that. So then what I'm thinking, oh, where am I gonna put thrust? Dang it, I needed to make room for thrust. I did not. Oh, this also cannot be attached here because those will prevent rotation. Hold on, let me just see what happens right now. Shift to go up. And we can aim this thing around. Okay, that's making sense. But how am I gonna fit those rockets? Okay, there might be ways. Let me just try to, I'll save the thrust for last because we might have to sacrifice our thrust plans, and instead of going for these massive, oh, no way. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. We may have to just put a bunch of these things hidden around somewhere. But let me try something real quick. Where are the fire? Where are fire? Here are fire. All right, I feel like this is kind of what I was going for. Okay, I think I did it. So now I should be able to do this. Oh, we're getting close to complexity. Please let me fill it in. 505, 545. All right, so this is what our asteroid's looking like right now. Can we get off the ground? Yes. This is cool. Oh, it is so cool. This is actually turning out better than I expected. All right, now we need essentially thrust. All right, let me put this thing back down. This is amazing. What color? Hold on, let's paint it up. I think we obviously need this. All right, let's do like that. Hold on, like, should we do black main color like that, or like a grayish? I think black looks the coolest. And then I feel like orange heating up. That is so cool. I did not expect it to turn out this is cool. This is passable. Despite, see, it did its imperfections, its lack of perfect roundness, it actually gives it some character. Oh, all right. So now there's a couple of things. I'm gonna fill it with dynamite. So I kind of just want to like pop the top off and see what we're working with here. So if the arrow is pointing towards the front, where can we fit things? Let me just see. If I take this thrust, I take this big thruster. There's no chance. There's no chance that this can happen. It's not gonna fit. All right, so we need to take a bunch of these then. And you know, I think the best place to put them is on the front because of the way that they attach. All right, I put a whole bunch on the front. It feels like a lot. Let's see how much thrust it really gets us. If I go in this direction. All right, it is something. All right, I don't have quantum rudders on this thing yet either. All right, so quantum rudder, I'm gonna have right here, like a handful of them. All right, let's see how the quantum rudders feel. We're definitely getting heavier. But now if I go forward in a direction, the quantum rudders should help guide me in that direction. This is looking so cool. All right, so now dynamite. Oh wait, what's my complexity limit right now? Or my complexity level? 593, okay, that's tolerable. We're gonna need dynamite, and we're also gonna have to dial in gyro or gimbal strength. Whoa, okay, I got like really, really lucky right there. I just added a bunch of extra gimbals to neutralize my thrust, or neutralize my mass. And by the looks of it, it's like almost perfect, but I haven't added dynamite yet, so the dynamite will add a little bit more weight. So now when I press space, you can see that I don't fall. I only go in the direction that I'm pointing. This is great. All right, I've added a lot of dynamite. If I add, I don't want to add too much, like unnecessarily amount, because then that's gonna mess up my weight. Oh, I could add more, I guess. But let's see. Uh-oh, something is colliding. I can no longer aim up and down well. All right, maybe it was just those two. Everything else looks like it should be out of the way. Dang it, something's wrong inside. If I just change the texture to glass real quick, we can see what's going on. It could be the gimbals, actually. I thought it was fine before the gimbals, though. Okay, you know what? Let me actually delete these ones. Let me see if that makes a difference. Oh, okay, there we go. This is actually kind of cool seeing it from this perspective. All right, if I hit something hard, do I explode? Yep. All right, I need a front indicator because I can't tell what the front actually is. So something on the nose here. Maybe just like a cone, small little nose cone. And that's like a slightly different color. Oh, there we go. We got a red nose cone indicating the direction. Or maybe that should be in the rear. So we always want to be looking at the back of it. And that might be a better indicator. Oh, that is so cool. Okay. I'm gonna throw this thing out of creation, by the way. All right, so now we know if we see that, this is the backside, and that's a good sign. All right, so now let's spawn in. Oh, one flaw. Can't get out of it. Oh, there we go. Ooh, aircraft carrier. We'll put it on land for now. I just wanted something big. This is the biggest recent build I have, and it's a lowrider aircraft carrier. Look at that. We have 2 max complexity creations right now. Oh man, this thing just looks so cool. Burning up in the atmosphere. All right, so we're up in the sky. We are a menacing, ominous asteroid. We can point down towards the thing. All right, here we go. Asteroid's falling out of the sky. Let's see what kind of damage it does to an aircraft carrier. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. That was the most anticlimactic thing I could have imagined. I think we need a sensor. I feel like a distance of 1 is fine. And then that is going to trigger... We only need to trigger 1 dynamite. Like literally just 1 dynamite, and that'll create the chain reaction we need. So let's get away from that thing real quick, and let's just do a quick test. So now if I just face down and... There we go. All right, let's try this again. Asteroid's coming down from the atmosphere. Kind of hard to figure out exactly what angle I need to be at. Oh, it looks so cool though. It really does look awesome. All right, and I am being very disappointed right now. Where? So there's the thing. There's our sensors are right there. I don't know. Do we got to put the sensors on a little bit different, like a little bit longer of a distance? I don't want it to explode like before. You know what? Here's what we do. They're going into this dynamite right here. Let's set this to delay by 0.25, a quarter of a second. So that way we can give these things a distance of like 5 meters. It'll trigger, but it's not going to trigger it before we make contact. I hope what I just set up works. The gravitational pull has taken effect. We're falling down to Earth. Is the aircraft carrier in the way? What's gonna happen? Why will this not work? All right, 10 meters it is. Okay, here it goes. Watch out, aircraft carrier. There's an asteroid. Okay. I think it finally happened. It was still a little not anticlimactic, but it was underwhelming because the game glitched out so bad. But we have to keep in mind, we just watched a essentially max complexity creation full of explosives collide with another max complexity creation. So maybe we should let's try it first on like a more reasonable size creation, like a tank. I think a tank is a reasonable one. All right, let's just see how that feels. I would love to be able to get like a cinematic shot of this, but it's gonna be hard to pilot it and be in like a cinematic camera mode at the same time. But let's just do a standard approach right now. Asteroid from the atmosphere. I love this perspective though. And okay, that worked. For a second, I thought we were a little... Oh, wait. Whoa, it's way over there. Oh, it's still, like, completely obliterated for the most part. But we did miss it, kind of. It's not really obliterated for the most part. It's for the least part. It's for the least part obliterated. It's actually still perfectly functional. All right, I gotta try it again. I gotta try to get a direct hit. That was not a direct hit. Oh, it's actually kind of... It is kind of hard to control this thing precisely. Oh, this looks good. Oh man, wow, I'm actually surprised at how survivable that thing is. I don't think we keep hitting the ground a little bit though. So there is that. I'm gonna try one more time on this thing. Oh wait, no, I got a better one. Why didn't I think of this before? We need a test dummy. Mecha Buster. Mecha Buster isn't gonna see it coming. Actually, it probably will see it coming. I think an asteroid is probably one of the easier things to see coming. All right, here we go. Now that is what I was looking for. I actually kind of liked how the game lagged there a little bit. It had that kind of cinematic, like slow-mo right when you made contact with the face. You got to witness the facial impact and then actual obliteration. Finally, some real obliteration. That was good. All right, now you know what I think is actually a good idea? Aircraft carrier again, but this time on the ocean. Because this will have the benefit of, I won't actually explode unless I hit the aircraft carrier directly. Man, this thing is like so ominous. Just sitting, hovering above the ocean like that. All right, man, asteroid impact on the ocean directly into an aircraft carrier. We better see some destruction here. All right, here it goes. Whoa. Okay. There was a lot that happened there. Oh, wow. That actually did a lot. Oh, there's more. We cut it in half. Look at that. We got two distinct halves over here. Or these are more like quarters, to be honest. I think we destroyed half of it. And then we got two halves left. All right, that was pretty cool. You know, I just have to see. I got to do like a freeze frame. Like this thing just coming down like this, and then I just want to see it from like the ground perspective. Okay, that actually does look pretty legit. I'm very happy with this thing. This thing looks so good. Well, I gotta say, this actually turned out way cooler than I thought it was gonna turn out. Like aesthetically and also functionality wise. Like, I'm not talking about necessarily the explosions. Like the explosions and the destruction could be better, but we're limited to how much this game can handle when it comes to blowing up very high complexity creations like this, especially with all the particle effects this thing has. But as far as our ability just to turn anywhere that we want to go and just kind of like float ominously up in the sky, I like how when we float without moving much, that the fire kind of like isn't really that much of a thing. But then as soon as you start moving, the flame trail is just so epic looking. All right, if you guys have any other ideas you'd like to see happen in Trailmakers, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more that you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.